Hey, everybody, and welcome to another night of Women's World of Fishing Monday Night Takeover. And I'm so sorry that we are running late. Um, Luckily, we are only right under 10 minutes late, but this was totally my fault. Apparently, in the humongous break that Angie and I took over the last 5 or 6 weeks, there's been a lot of changes to the software that we use. And I actually didn't even know that I was live there for a minute, and I'm super glad I didn't do it or say anything stupid. Um, so that's the good thing. I got the new information over to Michelle. She's actually already waiting backstage. But unfortunately, tonight, Angie's not going to make it. So she's feeling a little under the weather. She's got a lot going on. So she's taking the night off. So it's just going to be me tonight. And I'm going to try and manage all of the different places that the questions can come in. And it's really hard for me to do that while I'm talking to Michelle. And I know that there's probably going to be a lot of questions for her because I'm going to double check this, but I believe that she already raised $20,000 for the foundation of a $22,000 goal. Now, that doesn't mean that she wants to stop. So I know people are going to be checking in to find out how to get raffle tickets, and we're going to explain all of this, but I'm just kind of giving everybody a heads up that I'm going to do my very best because I am all in with her on this. So if I miss a question, um, I'm super easy to find on social media. Michelle's even easier to find on social media. So we will make sure to get back to you to let you know how to get these raffle tickets. I'm already getting direct messages, and we haven't even shown that what's up for raffle or anything like that. So it's going to be a fun night. It is going to be an interesting night. Michelle is my new friend from TikTok, and I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. I know that Angie and I took a huge break from the show, but we didn't forget about you guys. We are back in action. I know we'll take time off for Christmas and stuff, but honestly, it was just for the holidays. I actually went striper fishing and was gone for a few Mondays. So that's really all that it was. There was nothing going on, no secrets or anything like that. Um, I know a couple of people had messaged me thinking that we canceled it. That wasn't the case. So that's all that it was. No updates that I want to go over tonight. Me and Angie will talk more about that on the next show because tonight it is all about Michelle. It is all about the Catch a Dream Foundation. We are trying to raise money for this. I'm not even going to try and explain it. I'm telling you guys, raffle tickets are available until Saturday, and you've got to see some of the prizes. They're amazing. So, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on. Are you good, Michelle? Okay. Okay.
Hey, everybody. I'm so
Hello,
excited to
Michelle.
be on your show. I'm so excited.
Good. I'm so happy to have you here. I mean, we've been following each other on TikTok for a while, and
As women in fishing, we have to stick together.
I know we do. We've got to promote the sport. We have to, do whatever we can. And it's been a blast hanging out with you on TikTok. And I'm so glad that you agreed to be here. This is perfect
Oh,
timing.
it is perfect timing. It definitely is perfect timing. And, I always love to talk about fishing and love to talk about my journey in Major League Fishing, the Toyota Series, and talk about how important it is to keep building that love for fishing, not only in women and just everybody, because we want to keep that sport alive and want to teach the younger generation what it's like. And I know you and I are not the first women to come into this sport. We definitely will not be the last.
Right.
But it is a path that we are having to pave because let's face it, the industry for women is a little different.
Right.
It's a tougher
different.
industry. I think it's tougher sometimes to prove. But you know, what we're doing with the Catch a Dream Foundation. I have to tell you, when I got back into professional fishing this year, and I made a promise to God. I was like, look, if you'll just open this door for me, I'll walk through it. And when I walk through it, I'm going to fish for a purpose, and that purpose will never be for me. And I started really looking at foundations that I could get behind and support. I've always been a big fan of Randy Howell and what he does with, you know, King's Home and the orphanage. And I said, I know I could probably never do anything that grand, but let me do something. And I stumbled upon the Catch a Dream Foundation, and it was inspired because the Make-A-Wish Foundation would no longer provide outdoor experiences for terminally ill children. No hunting, no fishing trips. So this foundation was created. They service all over the country. Takes about $4,000 per family, and it is really about bringing these terminally ill children into their last wish, which may be a trophy hunt or a trophy fishing trip. Well, they decided in the Catch a Dream Foundation that it was a good time to help heal the entire family. Because let's face it, when you've got a sick child,
Right.
it takes a toll on the parents, it takes a toll on the siblings, and they bring these people together. And if you just go read the testimonies from the Catch a Dream Foundation, they are incredible. What these parents, they have memories to last a lifetime.
Right.
Their children were, you know, they said that their child, maybe as sick as they were, left there feeling hope and refreshed and healed just by being in the outdoors. I agree with that. I'm the same way. So I really have pushed.
I think all of us are.
Yeah.
You
yeah.
know?
I can't imagine not being on the water and having some peace. You know, even in the most stressful moments in tournament fishing, if I'm on that water, I can just stop my mind a little bit and think, but you're here, but you're fishing. So just let it go.
Right. Totally agree. 100%.
And look, I've been so blessed by the people that I've met on TikTok and all my social media platforms that when I suggested that we do something for the holidays, and we did the singles auction, and I was a little bit nervous about that. I'm not going to lie to you. That was, you know, I was thinking, Lord, there is no telling what's going to happen. And I let my followers set my goal, my money goal. And when they set it at 22,000, I thought, they have a lot of faith in me to get this done. And we almost accomplished that goal during the auction. But I knew I had all these wonderful raffle items. And like I'm going to show people in just a second, but this is just, I don't know if you can see that table. It is full. And I have to say real quick, I am at my camp at Toledo Bend, but at my camp at Toledo Bend, which is the most beautiful lake in the world, in my opinion, it's my home lake. We had a bad storm and I didn't get internet service. So I had to come to Cypress Bend Hotel, Resort, Golf Course, and Marina, where we host a lot of tournaments out of here. And they were gracious enough to let me use their lobby and their internet service for tonight. So I want to give them a big, huge plug.
Thank you
for letting me take over their lobby tonight at
Right.
their hotel. And it's decorated beautiful. It's a great place to come with your family. It's a great place to come for couples on the weekend. And I want to thank them a lot. So if you're at Toledo Bend and you need a place to stay, come check out Cypress Bend Marina and Hotel and Resort and Golf Course.
That's amazing. Thank you, you guys. We really, really appreciate it. Because I would have been like, no Michelle, no Angie. Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. I was like, oh no, what am I going to do? I mean, it was crazy this morning. So, but they're very nice and they're very good people up here. And they was like, sure, you want to do a podcast or a show in the lobby? No problem. Just come on. Come on. So I do thank them for that.
Yeah, definitely. Aww.
But we've had some wonderful people, Barbara, reach out to us that just strangers reach out to us and say, what can we do to help? And last night, just on my live on TikTok, we sold $1,000 worth of raffle tickets.
Really? Already?
Yes. And I set my goal at 22K, but I'm pretty competitive. And I never allow myself to, if my goal is here, I'm reaching for here. You know what I mean?
So you're at 21,000 already then?
I'm almost at 21.5, I think is what we just have. Okay. Because we just got another big thing on. And people, if you're not on TikTok, I'm going to post it on my Facebook page too. And I haven't done that yet because we're having enough trouble me and Anna's having enough trouble keeping up with just what we got going on. But
You guys are doing amazing. Honestly, you are, because I tuned in on Saturday when you guys were doing the date auctions,
hi.
and it was hysterical. Like, I mean, it was it was a hot mess, hysterical, amazing thing that you guys did. It really was.
I'm
Like,
not gonna lie to you, Barbara. I was super nervous about. I was like, there's no telling how this thing's gonna go.
but you know what? It was great. It just goes to show how great humans can be.
Yeah.
Like, because we see so much negative stuff, and especially on human or on social media.
Oh yeah.
Like, a lot of times that's like where the worst of the worst is.
You're exactly
But
right.
but we have an amazing group of people on TikTok, and you guys were funny, you were endearing, you were supportive, and for that much money to have come out of it, it was just great.
I was really pleased, and I haven't had a chance to call the foundation yet. I had called them before we did this, and I said, "Hey, look, we're going to do a little fundraiser on my social media accounts, and I can't promise you what we're going to raise." And at the
Right.
time, we didn't have a goal, and I think at the time that I was shocked to the people who wanted to do it.
Mhm.
I mean, I got roped into it because I'm single, and they're like, "Oh, you're putting this on. You have to be in it." And I'm like, "Oh, Lord, I'm old, and y'all don't want." No, we ended up with my coach from Team USA. He was like, "I wasn't gonna let anybody get you, and I don't really want you because I fish with you." So, but he said,
That's cute.
"Yeah, it was cute. It was really sweet." I was just surprised at how many people we had in there and how
Mhm.
everybody was really good. I mean,
Yeah.
I was kind of concerned about, how we have trolls and all this stuff.
Oh yeah.
I was a little bit concerned about that, but I had some great moderators. I mean, Anna Brewer, good Lord, that girl's got a place in heaven. That is
Mhm.
no like it. She told me, she goes, "I walk around with you when I'm with you, I have a notebook and a pen at all times because just there's no telling what's going to pop up."
Right. Yeah, and she moderates well. She doesn't put up with anything.
No, she really doesn't. And she allows people, she gives them enough rope to hang themselves, and she
Right.
gives them a warning. And if the warning doesn't work, then it's gone. So, and I
Right.
appreciate that. Miss Vicky Smith does the same thing. They're really great mods that I have on there. So
Good.
I had one moderator though. I have to tell you this. I had one moderator, and it's Mitch Smith Racing. He's a great guy. He kind of helps mod sometimes for me. And I had one of my bait sponsors to follow me pop on, but he was building a new account, a backup account. Well, he didn't have very many things in his account or videos or anything,
Oh.
and they blocked him. And all of a sudden, my phone starts ringing, and it was him. And he was like, "Shell, what did I do?" I was like, I don't know what you did. What are you talking about?" And he was, "I came in your live, and boom, I was out. I was blocked." And he was like, "Unblock me." I was like, "I can't unblock you right now. I'm still live." So sometimes mistakes happen too. With
Right.
really.
Yeah.
So how long have you been fishing? I need to know that.
Pretty much since I was 8. But competitively since my mid 20s, 30s. And I actually, when I'm not fishing with the LBAA, I'm still fishing with my dad,
I
which
see your videos with your dad, and I think that is so precious. And and I've told you before, treasure those moments because they are incredible.
I do. And I know that I'm smart enough to know how lucky and blessed that I am. I don't like
Yeah.
to give away my age, but I'm 42, he's 72, and we're very blessed to still be able to make memories like that. And that's one of the reasons I'm so glad that I have a GoPro,
Oh
because
yeah.
there's going to be a time when that's going to be priceless to me,
You're exactly right.
especially when I don't remember a daggone thing, and don't even remember that I used to fish. And I find, the videos, and I'm just like, oh, yeah, okay, and remember the times out there then.
Well, just the good thing about it is, and this is what I said. I said I wished I could remember everything my dad and my uncle taught me in a boat because we didn't have GoPros back then. And I was
Right.
like, man, they had so many little tips and tricks that sometimes I remember them, and sometimes I don't. But it's like, shoot, I wished I'd have taken notes, and paid closer attention, and because they did things that you wouldn't think about, and you just
Right.
every fisherman has their little tips and tricks and things that they
We're
tweak.
we're way past that though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm the
Like,
one watching social media and I'll be like, I watched this video. So I'm the one telling him now.
that's funny because I watched one the other day about running a line through a Cinco, and I watched it 5 different times. Did you see that?
I did see that. But
I'm
yeah.
kind of interested in trying that now.
Yeah. If you find it again, send it to me.
I will,
Because
I was like, wait, I got to see this again. Now, how did he do that?
Yeah,
And
because
I still don't know what he used to originally go through, because he had something that was like a little tiny straw that he put through it first to run the line through it. So
I think it was a new thing that people who use live bait that they use to thread line through live
Gotcha.
bait. It's like
Gotcha.
a threader something. Because they were actually at a boat show that I had gone to the year before COVID hit, and I was just like, oh, well, I don't really fish with live bait. So I didn't pay any attention to
Right.
it.
I used to watch those shows on Sunday morning, and I don't have time to watch them anymore, but saltwater fishing shows. And I'm not a big saltwater fisherman, but I do like to do it. And I would start watching them like get their bait ready. And like, it's illegal for us to fish with live bait.
Right.
In tournaments. And I was like, but I'm thinking that the way they do it, the bait's not really live. They're just using parts of it. They're putting like a jig head on top of it. And somebody said, Shell, don't even go there. I think it was Mark, the director of the Toyota series. I was like, hey, I got a question for you, because I watched the show and they were showing how they're making their baits, and it looked like a big squid. And I was thinking, man, I could see how that could work with bass fishing real easy. Just change up your bait patterns and stuff and make it a brim instead of, I don't know.
I never thought of that, because technically they're dead, but
yeah, you're just using a piece of them.
Yeah, but that wouldn't go over well.
I'm sure somebody would foo-foo that quickly, but anyway, I thought it was a good idea. I was gonna try it. I was gonna push my luck a little. Not in a tournament though.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense, but in a tournament, it would never fly.
No, it'd never fly. It sounds really good, because, like, technically, it's not live bait.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it is dead, but
it is dead. But I think they'd tell me no anyway. No anyway. But look,
when you did the Team USA in Costa Rica, weren't you in saltwater then?
Yes, girl. Okay. I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you about that experience. That was an amazing experience.
Because I put that up there, but then I was confused, because I'm like, well, they were on saltwater. Why? I didn't get that.
Okay, so the International Olympic Committee is trying to make sport fishing an Olympic event, and they needed some diversity.
Really?
Yes, and so this all was put on under the International Olympic Committee, and they do have a bass team, but it's loaded, heavy hitters in it. So they said, "Hey, Michelle, have you ever surf fished?" And I went, "Mm-hmm." Okay, you're on the team. I went, wait, but that's not my No, wait. Look, I had to totally regroup, and Anna can vouch for this. I spent a fortune on new tack. I had none of that stuff,
right?
But I will tell you, the experience was amazing. The hosts in Costa Rica were incredible. We got to when we flew into Costa Rica, we stayed 2 nights in the city. And we took a 4.5-hour bus ride across Costa Rica, and then got on a boat for another 30, 45 minutes.
Oh.
And it kind of looked, from being from Louisiana, I understand river systems and bayou systems and all that. And it looked really like South Louisiana, except they had saltwater crocodiles. And we pull up to this place, and I look at it, and it's got like a little dock on it, but it is all jungle in there. And I hear a generator running, and I'm going, oh no. Our accommodations were
Oh.
a little, they were fine. They were clean. We had no hot water, no air conditioning, a fan, and hollow monkeys as an alarm clock. It was cool.
Wow.
When I tell you it was something else. Look, and the funny thing is, so and my shoulder got blew out before I ever went to Costa Rica. So I was really, really, really worried about how I was going to handle those big 10-foot rods. And I mean, I did a whole lot of practice casting and how I was going to set a hook so I didn't put too much pressure on my arm. But I'm kind of short. And the way we surf fish, every team was shoulder to shoulder out there on these sandbars.
Yeah.
Being short was not my advantage because I was not going to let those guys who were taller than me get further out than me. And I could swim pretty good. So I thought, well, I'll bob if I have to, you know. It was hilarious. Look, I'm going to tell you, we had rip because we were right beside the river. We had waves that were 2 and 3 foot tall, which those took me. Look, I was so tired. For the first day we fished 6.5 hours in that water. And I'm telling you, I was up to here and up to here most of the time in water fishing. And the rule is you cannot, no matter what you catch, when you fight it, you have to fight it all the way back to the beach in the water. And you cannot pick it up out of the water until the judge or the marshal is beside you. And they can see you coming, so they're running to the beach. But you know, and if you've ever been out and surf when you got big surf and it's rip and all that, fighting a big fish, and I caught a nice pompano, but geez Louise, when I got done with that last fight, I was like, ooh.
That is just
insane. But the experience in itself, I will tell you, it's very humbling for me when I was in a foreign country and I heard my national anthem played. And I knew I was standing there holding our flag representing our country. I'm telling you, it was very emotional for me. And I didn't really think it would be, but oh my gosh, you know, what an experience. And I said to somebody, I was like, you know, I hope one day that I do see sport fishing as an Olympic event. And I think it's coming. It's coming. It is coming. And I hope I live to see it. And I said, but I hope one day that my granddaughters can say, you know what, when they're watching the Olympics, you know what, my Yaya is the reason this happened because she went and fished this in the beginning when it first started. Mm-hmm. And, you know, to know that both my dad and my grandfather and my uncles was career military men, I thought, this is the only way I can honor their service is by going and doing this. You know, those were the men who taught me my love for fishing. And it was pretty emotional when I was thinking about them fishing that tournament. And when they hung those medals around our neck, it's pretty emotional.
Yeah, I can't even.
I mean, it was bigger than any check I could have ever won fishing. And I wasn't fishing for a check. I was fishing for gold, but whatever.
Right.
We were beat by the Costa Rican team, so I can't complain too much.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, they maybe had a little bit of an upper hand there.
Just a little bit. But they were wonderful hosts there. I mean, they truly treated us well. So it was a great experience. And I hope that once I get through the surgery on the 29th and get rehabbed in time for next fall, which they're going to fish in Colombia at a tournament for peacock bass. And I told them, I said, I'm going on that one. You got me.
Right.
What you have to do.
I would love to catch a peacock bass. I've never.
Me either. They have some pretty good tournaments going on to get this International Olympic Committee. I mean, I think they're trying to convince the Olympic Committee, and they're paying attention. The Olympic Committee is paying attention because, I mean, everything that we're doing is falling under that umbrella.
So now, how in the world can they be on the brink of developing an Olympic fishing team and be so ungodly behind in women's fishing. I mean, because,
Now we're getting on a subject we can talk about for sure.
well, I mean, it really makes my blood boil, in all honesty. And I actually just sent a message back to Stephen Pellerin, who is the unicorn husband of Stephanie, who fished the LBAA this year, and
Uh-huh.
she was Rookie of the Year. And we did a TikTok live 2 nights ago, I'm not sure what day. No, it was Saturday, and we were on there for 2 hours, and we talked about specifically this probably for the majority of the time, and just looked at this from all angles. And a- it's very sad because the BASS dropped the women's professional tour back in 2010. And first of all, the way that they did it, now I didn't fish it back then, but I have a lot of really close sisters that I love dearly that did. And that's how the LBAA was formed. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they had over 100 boats a tournament
Wow.
back then, consistently. But here was the difference is people weren't watching it on TV. So they weren't getting enough money for the televised version. So it was a financial decision for them.
It's all
So
about the Benjamin, huh?
exactly. Now statistically, women over the past 4 years have been the fastest growing demographic in fishing consistently. So you think about the type of money that is going in from the women into the industry, and yet companies are just letting us go by the wayside because there is very, very little. I'm probably waking up my whole daggone
That's
neighborhood.
okay. Wake them up.
But right, everyone's going to start
Let 'em
knocking on
hear
my
this.
door. But there is very little that is actually coming back to the women financially, because when we get sponsorships, we get discounts. Our best sponsorships usually come from the smaller companies because of the relationship, because we build relationships with them. You know what I mean?
I had a company when I got started approach me, and I asked them to send me the specs on their product. Send me everything you want me to know about it. Send me everything you need me to talk about. And I said, oh no, where'd I go? Sorry, I don't know what just happened. But anyway, I said, I want to, when I speak to people about your product, I want to be able to do it intelligently. I want to give the best product information I can to sell your product. And he looked at me astonished, and he said, do you know, in 20 years, I've never had anybody ask me for that. And I'm thinking, what? That is crazy. I said, well, then that tells me you need to look at who you're sponsoring, because they're probably not putting your product out there like they're supposed to.
Right.
And you're right. I have been blessed by some of these small businesses on our social media platforms. And I will say TikTok, for example, like Crazy Cast Rods. This man is more than just a custom rod builder. He has become a very, 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 very invaluable part of my life, him and his family. There's nothing I do, nowhere I go, that I don't know that he's not on the phone checking on me, seeing if I need anything. When I made that trip to St. Lawrence River, upstate New York, I drove by myself. and I had blown my shoulder out like a couple days before. He called me on the road. He knew when I left. He knew when I got there, and that's what you're saying. We build relationships with these people out. We It's personal for us, and we want to do a good job by them. And I know you've got some wonderful products over here on this table that you sent for me for the auction, which are some of it I really want to try. But like that coffee dip, I could use that right now.
Dad, take one of them. I'll send you some to replace it. I'll send in.
But anyway, and like you and your sponsors have been very good. But I think it's because we've built working relationships. I want to give them the best of me when I work with them. And I have found that smaller companies, aside from the big box stores don't really want to talk to us. And I don't understand that. And I tell you what else gets you want to get under my skin with women and fishing. And I hope I don't offend anybody. And if I do, I'm sorry.
This is something we talk about on this show all the time, and we
Okay.
ain't sorry.
Okay, so you want to be treated like an equal. You want to be treated professionally, then you better go act professional and you better dress professional. And this thing in advertising where they put these women in these bikinis to fish it makes me insane. Would they put a man in a Speedo?
You don't go and fish a tournament in your bikini?
No.
And then get your sponsors tattooed on you because you're not wearing an actual jersey?
Maybe I should do that. Maybe I'll get more sponsors.
You didn't get that memo? That's what we're supposed to do.
I did not get that memo, girl.
Oh, Michelle.
I missed that one.
Oh, jeez, Michelle.
Dang,
you didn't get the memo.
I can't believe I missed that one. Dang it. That's been my problem, huh?
We get the tattoos of the sponsors so we can wear our bikinis to fish the tournaments.
No. I'm just going to give you a flat no on that one.
You know what we all should do is we all should get our jerseys to look like a bikini. Like we're wearing bikinis. You know how you get those things?
That's shirts like you get at the beach.
Yeah, that's what we should do just to kind of not.
Yeah, go ahead, girl. I'm going to stand back and watch on that one.
No, I don't have. Well, no, I do have the guts, but and I do agree with you. Now, because we do, it is such a struggle, but the women can't do it on our own.
No.
The men have to take responsibility and stop having that be acceptable to represent their company. You know what I mean? Like, they have to be the ones to be like, we want the Michelles of the world to represent our company,
right.
Like the women who that aren't fishing professionally or, like are doing whatever, like, okay, well, wear whatever. But the women who are fishing professionally and stuff like that should, handle themselves certain ways.
And sex sells, I get that. But and there's some young women that are coming into this industry that I really would love to kind of shepherd a little bit, because I could see.
And that's our responsibility.
It is our responsibility. Mm-hmm. It truly is. And I always tell them, look, if you want to be treated like an equal, you have to act like one of the boys a little bit, but you also have to hold yourself to a higher standard than just anybody else. And no matter what they say, no matter what they do, you just got to keep it together. Don't mm-hmm. fall for just because you're a pretty girl, it's going to all work out for you. It's just like anything else in this world.
Right.
You don't play where you have the opportunity to get paid. And I say that all the time. I have great friends that are in Major League Fishing. I know it is my responsibility as an older woman and as a single woman to go to those tournaments and represent myself professionally. I don't I don't hang out and go to the bars with them. I don't go have drinks with them after tournaments, or I'm friends with them. But I know that my reputation is all I have in this industry, and that if I even leave a little room for somebody to make something up, it could be bad for me.
Right.
know,
And
and
just you. Just you.
just me. It wouldn't
Right.
be that way
Just
for the guy.
you.
It would
Right.
be just me.
Exactly.
Right, And
Their
I have,
sponsors wouldn't care whatever
mm.
ended up on social media, more than likely, but
I,
it would look
I've
bad
gotten
on you.
trouble on social media, and you know me long enough, and you've been following me long enough to know. I mean, do I cut up and giggle and act silly sometimes? Of course, I'm human.
And that's all
But
TikTok is
right,
that's the funny social media,
right.
you know?
But I've used TikTok to really, I guess, document my journey this year,
Mhm.
and it's really been great. And I've met some
Mhm.
super good people on it. But I got silly one night on a live, and got the next morning I woke up to a very, very, very nasty email from a leader in the industry that said I was not being a good representative of women in fishing because I was flirting on camera with some guy. He's 1,000 miles away from me, but we were
I wonder.
flirting. But it would have been okay for another fisherman to have got on there. I wasn't representing. I mean, I always represent fishing, and I always represent my sponsors, and I do know that. But I am human, and I mean, he annihilated me in that email. Just it was terrible, and I got to thinking about it, and I was like, well, and I did the little apology to her. But I know I'm held to a higher standard, and I am more accountable than the guys are, no matter what I do. Are you? Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I think we all feel that way. That's why we all are very, those of us trying to make a difference in the industry, I think we're all kind of like, you know, how's it going to look if I do this? How's it going to look if I do that? Like especially on social media, you know.
And I do try to be careful of how I represent myself. But I mean, I got in trouble for having a glass of wine in my hand, and I'm like, what? Have you been to a fishing tournament with these guys?
I mean, gosh, we're human.
That's exactly.
I mean, like
I have to eat. I can
right.
have a drink of wine. I mean, it's
right.
just, it's something sometimes, and I do feel like I'm held to a higher set of rules than the guys are always.
Right. And I mean, there has to be, people have to be realistic. We're not asking to we're all going to turn into Mother Teresa's and that's going to be the standard, like, geez, we might as right. We might as well. Yeah. We might as well not have any of us fishing, but there
true.
has to be, like a kind
a
of
happy medium.
Right. And we want the younger generation and even like ours to not getting by and it be the norm to get by on sexuality.
Well, and that was the other thing.
That's
we need to take over ICAST. We need to come to ICAST next year as a force. I believe that we need to go to ICAST this year as women, as a group, and say, you guys are going to have to pay attention to us because we're here. And I don't care how many gray-headed old men run this industry.
beep.
Bleep, blooper out.
Bleep, bleep, bleep,
but
bleep.
We're here. You can like it or not, but we are here. And our daughters will be here. Granddaughters will be here. Anna's over here in the corner going, oh, she did it. I can't. Anna's always, if I say something that, something like that, she'll always, typing something, sweet baby Jesus. She has no control over me right now.
Well, if I would have known, I think we're on like an 8-second delay, but I don't even know if there's a bleep screen on, like a
It's
bleep button.
fine.
But
We
it's
know
true.
it's true. But, and I lost my whole train of thought on this one. But,
Take over iCast.
take over iCast. No, just show a force of women and go through that show and say, look, we're here. What are y'all going to do with us?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put me in the corner. Listen to me. Give me an opportunity to speak. Give me an opportunity. Don't just, and I'll be very honest with you. I got upset at iCast this year because I did work iCast. And they had a really pretty little box there in the front of their booth for me to sit on. But they were going to take care of the sales. I just needed to bring them in.
Oh, I wonder if my psychologist is watching. If she is, this is us practicing our coping skills.
Oh, I coped.
I would have been livid.
I was.
Did you? I would have been like, well, I'm going to go over to somebody else's booth.
Well, I was late to begin with, but and I had fished the iCast tournament, and that was the other thing. They had promoted this big women's fishing tournament through iCast, and it was going to be all women in a boat. You had to be all women, and I captained my own boat that day, and the rules were a little different when I got there. You could actually have a captain who fished Toho to run your boat, tell you where to throw, what to throw. Anyway,
Right.
Another story. But those of us who have made it a mission to take on this industry, and I think that's kind of where you and I are. It's a mission
It
to make
is.
it better for the next generation, the next women that come into this industry. And it's not, I haven't been treated badly by any of the guys I fished with. None. They've been wonderful to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I sometimes don't feel like the rest of the world is taking us serious that are in this industry, that are running the backside of the industry. I don't know how to make them see that there is more to us than just being a woman. We have a sincere passion to get in that boat and fish just as hard as those guys do. And there is no bikini shots with me, because I'm going to tell you right now, when I get out of that boat, I'm usually so dang tired. I'm doing good if my hair gets brushed before I come on a wave stage. I mean, it is.
Well, and
there's nothing glamorous about it. That's for sure.
And, that's, and I know that for those of you that are on here that have watched previous shows and stuff, I know that you've heard this like a million times, but if you come and see a weigh-in at the LBAA, you will understand well, I'll tell you this. If you go back and find the show from here about the Truman tournament that was in 2019, it was in October of 19, where me and Angie were talking about it. Or even better, if you go and listen to the Woman Angler and Adventurer podcast about that tournament, and it's me and Angie in the hotel room, and we're doing her podcast at 1:00 in the morning, and we're talking about coming off of the water that day. I have fished a lot of different weather, but that was the most miserable day I have ever been on the water. There was women that got hypothermia. And there was actually women that had to come off of the water, the women up north that came down who are used to cold.
Right.
Don't know what it was like to be have cold weather in the southern region with the humidity in the air and stuff like that. It's different than just straight cold. Those were some of the anglers that ended up coming in. This was just ungodly cold weather because it poured down rain before takeoff, and then got colder throughout the day with like 30-mile-an-hour winds. It was
That
just
sounded like my whole
awful.
season last year.
Well, but you know what though? Like almost most people in the field stayed out there and, and fished, and like these are some serious anglers. We're not out there drinking a beer with a bobber, like
No.
this is
And look, you've got to be
passion.
super competitive in this sport.
Right.
And if you're
These are
not, you're
some
going to get trampled.
Yeah,
You,
these are tough girls. Like when we came off, there were men that had been sitting in the marina drinking coffee and eating breakfast, and are like, man, I wouldn't. There ain't no way I would have stayed out there and fished. You know what I mean? And
same
so,
thing happened with us at Gunnersville this year. So Gunnersville, was when they had the big snowstorm of the south and the big freeze
oh,
in the south. I was so excited about fishing Gunnersville. Got there a couple of days early to do some practice fishing, and man, I could see that ice storm coming. And they
oof.
actually held us off one day. And our tournaments are 3-day tournaments. You fish 2, and then if you make top 10, you qualify for the 3rd day.
The
I was
third day.
very happy that time not to qualify for the 3rd day. I'll be honest
Right.
with you. We fished. It was 17 degrees. I saw, and look, as a co-angler, I have to back my boater's boat in the water. Well, they were backing 240 boats in that day, and every time they back out, they'd have to salt, sand, and I've seen boats come off the trailers. I'd seen, it was terrible. But we
Oh
went out there
gosh.
and fished, and I was literally shaving ice as I was retrieving. My hands have never been so cold. I had I didn't stop fishing. I kept going. The next day, we went from a 225 or 240 boat tournament to probably less than 100 people stuck around.
Uh-huh.
And as a matter of fact, my boater didn't show up. He called me at like 5 o'clock in the morning that morning, and he said, my dog died. I got a flat tire. I'm not coming. And I was like, come on. But I went and fished
Right.
the second day too. Had a great day the second day. I drew Dakota Ebarb, and we killed it that day. So, but it was
Really?
tough. And left there and went to Lake of the Ozarks, which was frozen over. It was like everywhere I go, it's freezing. What is going on?
Wow.
But
Well,
yeah,
and
it's
I'll
never
tell you,
ideal conditions ever when you fish a tournament.
right. And I bet you on that day, on Gunnersville, if the women, if their equipment's working and you can get on the water, they're going to be there, and they're going to be
Exactly.
there early. And I mean, and they're going to practice. If it's a practice day, they're still going to be out there practicing.
Yep, that's the truth.
Like they are sun up to sundown on practice days. Like these aren't like
No,
they are serious.
And this is not for the faint of heart, because these practice days aren't just get up and go play in the water. It is, you've got to dissect the water. You've got to figure out what the bite pattern, the whole 9 yards, and you've got a few days to do it in. But then not only that, you also, you're going to fight the elements every time. I don't care. It just seems like on tournament days, if the weather can flip and do something crazy, it's going to. It's going to rain. It's going to snow. It's going to sleet. It's going to be so hot you can't stand it. It's going to be something. But yeah, I've never seen a woman give up.
Well, and that's the thing. And there are so many things that with women being the fastest growing demographic in fishing, and women technically we're pretty good when it comes to talking to people about products and stuff, like, because I'm never gonna have like anything on my social media and pushing stuff if I don't use it.
Exactly.
Like I seriously had a bait company that sent me baits that I never posted on social media. I had the package for like 2 weeks, and I told him, I said, look, I might not be back, fishing until March or April. Like it's winter in Kentucky. We got a 60-day degree like on Friday, and I posted the video on TikTok. It was Lunker Baits.
I saw that.
And I said, you know what? Like, it's just crazy. We got a 60-degree day. I came out here just to check out these baits, you know? And it's because I'm never going to push anything I don't use.
You know,
And so people and that's because I want people to trust me. I want people to know that my word is good. You can
yes,
come to my boat and people can be like, "Okay, well show me that 6 gill rod." Okay, well I'll show you 14 of them, you know?
exactly.
Like those are on my, on my wall because I have all 6 gill on the boat.
Right.
I I want to be honest. People can see through BS so easy. And
You know, and there's a
women
lot of
are
those.
better at it. Women are better at it than men.
And I was going to say, one of the first tournaments I fished this year was at Sam Rayburn that I came back from fishing. And I was standing in a weigh line. Derek Mundy, who is a phenomenal fisherman, and he'd caught an amazing, he was on a 2 day total of like 56 pounds. He was standing in front of me in line, and I knew he had a huge bag of fish. And my bag was not that big that day. I had lost a rod out of my hand that day from a fish. That's another story. But anyway, uh, this woman had never been to a weigh-in, and she had her kids with her, and it was two little girls and a little boy. And I mean, we had a weigh line that was incredibly long, full of big, huge bags of fish. And they came to me, and it's because, and I realized after they left, and I talked to the kids, and and looking back on a hindsight being 2020, I wished I would have had something in my pockets to have handed them, but I did not. So they just wanted to take pictures with me and take pictures with the fish, and they wanted to talk about fishing, and they'd never been to anything like that. And I realized after the tournament was over, and I was kind of rethinking, how you reprocess everything that happened that day, and I was like, they came to me because I was the most approachable person in that line, which is true for a lot of things. It's not just kids, it's people in general. I think women are more approachable. The guys have a more standoffish attitude.
Motherly,
They've got that
sisterly.
testosterone running, and they think they're so. I was looking at Anna. She's on the floor with a phone in the hotel lobby. I'm trying to figure out what she's doing. She's taking a picture. But anyway, she never stops working. Bless her heart.
Aww.
But anyway, yeah. And I said, I will never go to a weigh line without a felt tip pen in my pocket and a bag of baits of something.
That, you know what? That is a great idea. Like having an unopened pack of baits from
Just
like each sponsor.
Stick them in my pocket and go.
That is
Because
a
you
great
never know.
idea. That is,
and I had been talking with somebody, and I can just say it on here. I've been talking with one of my bait guys and one of my hook sponsors, and I said, I want to put together a package, just a small one, that when I meet kids that have an interest in it, I can show them with a couple of hooks how to rig, just a wacky worm, and give them a little list of instructions, have a place where I can autograph it and hand it off to them. But
That's
because you would be
awesome.
surprised at the people I run into in tackle stores or in Walmart when I'm in a town, they recognize me from social media, which is kind of freaky. I'll be honest with you, especially when you're trying to buy tackle and you've got somebody going, "Hey, I know her from TikTok."
I haven't had that happen yet. I got freaked out because a guy was like, "Hey, I know where you're fishing. You're fishing by me." And I'm like, "Really?" I'm like, "Where am I at?" And he's like, "Washington something." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, whatever."
Now,
I'm nowhere near Washington State.
I will say I have had some weird stuff happen because of social media though too, and it's kind of scary stuff. And Major League Fishing really had to take a look at the way they were handling us as women in the sport. And I didn't want that because I didn't want anybody to say, "Oh my God, here comes the girls and they're going to bring the drama." It wasn't me bringing the drama. It was a man bringing drama. But, I have had some weird things. Like I had some guy who became a stalker through TikTok and who actually got my home address, which I still to this day don't know how he did that.
Well, and this was because of this specific person who had said he knew where I was fishing.
after we figured out that this man was a little off his rocker, and he knew everywhere I was going because I always posted, and because my Major League Fishing wants us to put it out there because they want the fans to show up too.
Yeah.
And I tell you, that's the other thing that happened. It blew my mind at in Tennessee when we fished in Tennessee. This man walks up to me. Well, no, I drew this boater, this kid, and we're getting ready to go through boat check and all that stuff. And I knew a bunch of people in the business and it was like people stopping. Hey, good luck, Michelle. Hey, and they were hollering but it's because I don't meet a stranger, number one. And the guy looks at me and he goes, well, my father-in-law said I drew famous today. And he said, I just didn't know how famous I drew. And we laughed. We laughed about it. And he goes, my father-in-law is actually going to drive up here. He and my mother-in-law and this whole crew are dying to meet you. And I'm thinking, me, why won't? But they did. And it was like we had a TikTok cheering committee at that weigh-in, which was
pretty cool. Yeah.
That was pretty cool, We took pictures and had a good time. And I guess it's because I'm in Major League Fishing, there are not many women. And right. I think you and I have had this conversation before. I would love to come over to the women's side and fish. Absolutely come into y'all's organization and fish with y'all. But I said I wanted to make a splash in Major League Fishing. I wanted them to recognize me, know I was here, become credible in the industry, so that I could be more of an asset to step over into the Ladies Bass Angling Association. That's been my goal the whole time.
Just do one tournament in 2022 as a boater.
I will. I'll do that for y'all.
We're at Bull Shoals in, I think, May. We're at Ray Hubbard in March.
I don't think I can do anything in March. I'm going to be getting over this surgery on my shoulder. Maybe May. But yeah, I'd love to come do that.
It would be awesome.
And I think you and I have talked about it, though. And I said, and I've had other people ask me about it. And I was like, I want them to know that women are here to stay. And they better get ready because we're not going anywhere.
Right.
We're here. And there's more behind us coming on strong.
I know that a lot of women, actually a lot of women from the LBAA even went to ICAST this year. And probably even more will go, next year. And I think
we should just bring a delegation and just like you said, it's easy to ignore us as one.
Right.
But if we're unified, they're going to have to look a lot harder.
Right. And I mean, really, it's just sad because, the smaller companies do invest with us as so much. And because of the relationships, but then these huge companies who are made of money just ignore us. And that's really irritating. And you can't tell me that these huge companies like North Face and Sims and all that can't make a daggone rain suit that a woman doesn't have to take off every stitch of clothing to go pee in the winter.
Oh my God, you have just hit the nail on the head.
Right?
Like I can
That's how unimportant we are.
That is exactly true. That is so funny you say that. Because there's been times that I've been in a boat and it's been so cold or it's been falling a flood. And it's like, it's going to have to wait till I can get, because it's too much to take all this off to have to go pee.
Right.
And that's, that's funny because when I ask people, hey, if you can ask me anything you want to about my experience fishing, go ahead. The number one question they ask me is, how do you pee in the boat with a man that you just met? I'm like, what? Really, of all the things I'm doing, that's the question you want to ask me?
Right.
And it's like I do it like I do with everybody else. I say, hey, turn your head. I've got to go. Please be a gentleman. And I said, and to be honest with you, they are all gentlemen that I fish with. I said they would never do that. They would never disrespect me like that.
Right. I believe that.
But it's crazy. I'm like, okay, ask me a fishing question now because I really want to fish. Nope. It's all about, how the men treat you on the tour and And truly, they treat me like one of the boys. They
which
absolutely
is
treat me like one of the boys.
which is actually really good, to be accepted by them. That is really, that's a good thing,
And
but we just have a long,
it's a
long way
long,
to
hard
go.
road.
And we have a long way to go, but there is a lot of great, great women. And I'll be honest, a lot of great men that are on board with helping us get to where we need to go. I'll tell you, our tournament director with the LBAA, uh, he is, he's just wonderful. He is just wonderful.
Yeah, and
His name's Larry Valentine. And I swear if he lived where I lived, I'd hug him every day. I would drive to his house and hug him every day. He's like just inspirational. He he's tough on the ladies, like he's tough on us. He tells us how it is, but he's just great,
because he wants you to be your best. Because he
Right.
wants you to, and he's probably pushing for us to all be our best in this industry because he knows we've got a tough road still ahead of us to get through.
Right.
We're
But he's
breaking down some walls, but there's a bunch more to take down.
right. And he's supportive, like there's nobody that's going to bat for us more than him. He wants everything to be fair, and
Nope.
he's great. And everybody that works with the LBAA, as far as the men, like they've got us. They're going to make sure that every single one of us is taken care of. And there are a lot of men that are behind us 100%. And so they do need to be recognized. But there's a whole lot of other people, women included, that do so much to hold us back. But
Well, I'm going to say this about Major League Fishing. Kathy Fennell, and I don't know if you know her or not, but she's
Mhm.
pretty much she is the go-to in Major League Fishing, which she has been incredibly supportive. I mean, she has just tell me what you need, Michelle. If you ever have a problem out there, what can we do to, and I told her when the Major League Fishing's, and like, hate to say it, but I mean, she's working for some of the gray-headed old men in the industry too. But anyway, and but she looks at us and she just goes, and there's a few of us that fish the Toyota series, not many, but there's a few. She just is very empowering. She loves that industry. She wants to see women in it, and she's never been anything but a go-getter in this industry. Very well respected. Everybody knows who she is. I mean, when she was at ICAST, she was like a superstar at ICAST, and the men really look up to her. So pretty much whatever she says at the end of the day goes. That's a big deal for her to be one of the leaders in Major League Fishing. I mean,
it is.
it speaks to where we can go. Now, maybe I'm gonna leave that one alone tonight. We'll save that next subject for the next night. But I don't know that we have. It's just like you said. Us one person trying to go out there and make a difference isn't gonna make an impact. But if we have a united force of women who either are fishing, your series, Bass series, Toyota series, Major League Fishing, if we all could figure out a way to join together, maybe not even to fish a tournament, but to be a voice heard, I think that would go a long way.
Well, and it's like, before I met Angie, which is my co-host who was going to be on tonight. She's just not feeling good. But we met on social media, and we ended up, starting to talk and stuff. And she was so passionate about fishing in the industry and making it a difference. And and I was the same way. And I think I reached out to her and I was like, we need to talk and collaborate and stuff. And finally I was just like, why don't you like come and fish the LBAA just one tournament as a co-angler and just see what you think of it? And so she did. And obviously we just kept you know, like talking about different ideas, and she fishes as a boater now. And so like but we just started off like that. And
Right.
she came over to the LBAA, has a boating sponsor, and like has her thing going on. And she does a whole lot of stuff in the fishing industry with women and her podcast. And then we have the show, and like I do Twitter and more with TikTok, and I'm meeting ladies on TikTok, and I have a couple of them that are going to come to the LBAA. and
That's great.
um and actually, one of the ladies in the LBAA is going to take one of the ladies from TikTok out on the boat because she's new, and just get her familiar and stuff like that. And um, but it's those little connections that in the long run can be
Absolutely.
huge.
Absolutely. You know,
And I just think that that's we need to keep doing until it's and we're gonna get through.
we will. And and just like with this that I'm doing with this charity, there's been so many people that didn't know about Catch a Dream Foundation
You're
until
right.
I started talking about it. And sometimes we don't need to make a splash in the boat or on the water or at a tournament. Sometimes it's something as simple as being out of the boat that makes the biggest impact.
Totally agree.
And I know this is going to make an impact, whether it affects me anyway or not. Is totally, I don't. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that we raise some money and that they raise awareness. And I think when people get educated about certain things like fishing and women and getting that next generation involved and get them excited about fishing and then still be giving to others, I think that's the way we're going to make this big time sponsors take a look.
Well, and like with the Catch a Dream, you're already making a difference, not just by giving them, the all of the money that you have just worked so hard to raise, but you've brought to light the actual organization. And this is going to be an organization that, like, I've already followed them on social media. So even if nobody else that you've brought the organization to, I'm definitely going to follow it.
Thank you. Thank you
I
so much.
I love stuff like this. I worked in mental health my entire adult life, my professional life. And so this is the stuff, this is right up my alley. And I love it. So you definitely have me following with this. That's why I sent all that stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is
Look,
this
and
is what I love.
I've had so many people that have guide services that said, Michelle, we'll donate a trip, and there's some things that people have to go to if they want to actually provide a hunting or a fishing trip for one. There's some training and there's some, of course, background checks on everybody.
Sure.
And then they have like a little training seminar about how they want the weekend to go and what it's all about and making this family feel like they have a secondary family in this industry that they've chosen for their last wish. And I mean, I just couldn't turn my, I told somebody the other night on one of my lives, I said, there was a draw for me in this that I could not explain. It was more powerful than anything I have ever really felt drawn to do ever. And I just kept, I can tell you, I probably hadn't slept 10 hours in a week, worried about how to get, not worried about how it was going to get done, but wanted to make sure it was done perfectly, and this Catch a Dream Foundation, it has pulled at every heartstring I've got. And I know now that no matter how much money we raise, although we are at almost our goal, no matter how much money we've raised, we have also raised awareness. I have put guide services in contact with Dr. Brunson, which he's thrilled about. And to be honest with you, they have no idea how much money I've raised yet because I haven't told them yet.
I tagged
told
them in the
I was
show.
expecting to raise about $3,000 to $4,000 on probably a raffle. So they had no idea about all the other.
Oops.
So
I tagged them in this video on Facebook.
Oh, good.
Well, let's
So
show some of the
Dr.
stuff.
Brunson, let me just say this. We are working on a goal of about $22,000 and we are almost there. TikTok, all my social media friends, all my fishing friends have really come together to make a big difference in the Catch a Dream Foundation. And I'm going to tell you, I could not have done it without people like you, people like Crazy Cast, people like Anna for sure. You know, everybody pulled together. People who are not fishermen, people who don't have a clue about fishing or hunting. They said, what can I do?
Yep.
Tell me what I can do to help you with this because this is so important.
Yep.
And to me, that's been like, what a blessing. I mean, what a blessing to me to know that I have those kind of people in my life that would get behind something that I believe so strongly in and then turn around and just give everything they've just give time. There has been so much time given to this by ranked strangers. I can't thank those people enough. And the people who've promoted it. Wonderful. I mean, and the products we've gotten, look.
Let's show some of them before we go.
You still there?
Yep. We're still here.
So, can y'all see good? So
yeah,
look,
we can still see.
The reels that you sent me, if you want to send me some more, I'll take them.
We'll see.
We have gotten, and this is just I'm just going to scan it a little bit. Very, 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 like I fish Kansas. I had never talked to them, met them, nothing. And they sent a box full of shirts and hats and cups, tartan tackle. And I mean, then Crazy Cast, you know, he really stepped it up and he's providing 2 custom rods
Nice.
that he will build to your specifications that are valued at about $400 a rod.
Wow.
So
that's awesome.
It is awesome. And I mean, we've had Team Livingston. They donated a 2-person 8-hour crappie fishing trip.
Ooh.
We have had an amazing outpouring of people. Rocket Slug, I don't know if you follow him on TikTok or not. He is a creator that has created a unique product. If anything above the water, if you get your bait hung above the water, this little thing right here will pop it out. Pop it out. You ought to go watch the video on Rocket Slug. It is incredible.
You know what?
And he has a story too. Rocket Slug and his wife lost a child to cancer. And so he was really touched by what we were doing. And then he learned about Anna's little grandson who has a muscle disease and he loves fishing. And Anna had put a picture on TikTok of him with his little wagon with all his baits in it that Yaya, he calls me Yaya. Every time I go see him, I bring him some new kind of soft plastics or something. And he loves to talk about fishing. And Rocket Slug and Froggy Bottom sent him a big package of stuff. And he was like, oh, he called us tonight. And he goes, oh, I got something for Mr. Rocket Slug and Mr. Froggy Bottom. And he called his grandmother and Anna. And he was like, do you have one of those things? And I was like, I don't even have one of those things.
That's awesome.
But you know, and it's things like that. He saw the video. He heard about Gage's story, and he just said, you know, it touched his heart. And he saw the enthusiasm in Gage's eyes about fishing and talking about fishing, and he's just a little kid. And so, how great is that? I mean, that
is awesome.
That's people giving back, doing the right thing, and inspiring that love that we all want to inspire in other people. I have a cousin who can't fish. She was born in a concrete jungle. She can mess up a Zebco 33. Truly, I've never seen anybody that could backlash a Zebco 33 until my cousin Sherry.
That's true.
She is wonderful. She is funny. But she tells me, she goes, I could just sit on the boat and watch you fish and just be at peace. She says, because it's just to be out there.
Peaceful. Yeah.
She goes, I don't want to catch big fish, but just to be out there. She goes, and you won't let me touch your big girl poles, as you call them. I always
Big
tell her,
girl poles.
I was like, you will graduate to a big girl pole when you can just manage the Zebco. When you can manage the Zebco, we'll go to something else. And I'm about to tell her, she's about to get a spin cast. We're going to try that and see if she can mess it up.
Yeah, she
But,
better manage the Zebco first.
Yeah, right. And the other experience I had is we've done a raffle early in the spring for something on here. And there was a little girl. She was about 16 years old, and she had been following me, and she loved hunting. Hunting's her thing, but she started following me because of my fishing. And she said she won one of my rods and reels and some bait, some tackle. And I mean, we put together a really nice little starter package for her. And I got to present it to her. And this little girl just busted out in tears.
Aww.
And she said, well, will you show me how to use some of this stuff? I said, oh my gosh, yeah, I'd love to. Anytime. You come, you let me know when, your mom can bring you, she can go with us, whatever. She called me the other day and she said, Miss Michelle, she said, I've been working really hard this year in school. She goes, I'm going to end up at A&M. She goes, I want a degree that I can go and become a game warden. She said, because she said, I never really thought about it before. I just wanted to do something in the hunting world. And she said, and what I realized, I could have the best of both worlds. And she said, and you showed me all about the fishing world. And it gave me a hunger for that too. She said, and you proved to me that if I want it bad enough, I can do anything. That melted me. Things like that, they mean more to me than any tournament I could win ever.
Well, and I mean, you just never know how you're impacting, how little things are impacting other people, what you're saying, what you're doing, who's listening.
I agree.
That's awesome.
And it was, she and I stay in contact, and she's doing really well. And I'm very, very, very proud of her. And I thought, wow, a fishing pole could turn a little girl around. A fishing pole. Of course it would be a fishing pole. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Now, I'm not a hunter. As you can imagine, I can't hunt because I talk too much. That has been established. I'm not a hunter. Nobody lets me near a deer stand around here, and I don't really care for it that much. But I fish. Normally, I fish spring, summer, winter, fall. It doesn't matter to me. I've got cold weather gear. That's the thing you were talking about, clothes. Oh, my God, to get cold weather bibs. I took an act of Congress to find anything that fit me that wasn't made for a man.
Right.
I mean.
Well, and my whole thing is like when I'm striper fishing with my dad, and he has to go to the bathroom. Okay, big deal, whatever, but I have to take off, my coat, a sweatshirt, another layer, and then take off.
Pull your bibs down.
Pull the bibs down, and then it's like, then you get so cold on your, your base layer, and then when you start putting everything back on, it's cold underneath. And I just get so mad. And I'm like, this is how unimportant women are in the, in the fishing, hunting world, whatever. That, I mean, with all the technology, we put people on the moon.
You can't figure out how to get girls to pee without having to take all their clothes off on the boat. That's
right. Like we put people on the moon. Like we send them that far and we bring them back. We don't even leave them there. Like we actually bring them back from the moon.
Right.
And you can't allow me to pee on a boat without taking all my clothes off. Like I just
we got to work on that one. We need to get with somebody to work on that one.
I'm telling you that until that is one of my biggest goals for this channel.
to get clothes that we don't have to take our clothes off with.
is to force North Face or Sims or some other company to be like, you know what, women are important, and
And
we're
they
gonna
have
take care of their bathroom needs.
they have those work bibs and stuff that have the snaps that snap like all the way up and down. You know what I'm talking about?
Uh-uh.
It's like, I want to say Carhartt makes them. I mean, it's not fishing gear, but I think they used to have some that had snaps. Maybe not. Maybe I was thinking about something else. I don't know.
I think you're
I could
talking
have
about
swore
a
I've seen something like that one
I
time.
think
I
you're
might have been
talking about
wrong.
a onesie.
Could be that. A trap
Yeah.
door would work too, I think.
Yeah, I don't think a onesie is gonna work for us.
No.
They're a little thin.
Yeah, that one probably wouldn't work.
Although
No.
we could knock fun at those companies and be like, we're all out here in onesies because you all can't figure it out.
Can't figure out how to give us official fishing gear that we can fish in and still be functional and be warm. And
Right.
yeah, that's great.
Yep.
I have a funny story. I was fishing in a tournament with this man, and we were talking about how awkward it is to have to. And I was like, well, yeah, it is. And he goes, I didn't know it at the time, but he had a catheter. And he goes, mine's real easy. Watch this. He said, mine's even easier than most men. I went,
Oh, wow.
I was like, well, no, thank you. No, I don't want that either.
Wow.
But he had some health problems, so that's why. But he said,
Oh,
oh, girl,
yeah.
it's real easy for me. Like, well,
Yeah.
you lucky thing.
I'd be like, yeah, I don't want to
Don't
watch
want a catheter.
thank
Not
you.
no, I'm out. And
Well,
they have some product called Shigo. Have you seen that?
yes,
I
and
can't do that.
well, I haven't heard the best things of them
It's
about
like,
them.
what is the purpose there? But
I haven't heard great thing. I've never used them, so I'm not going to badmouth them. But I haven't used them because I haven't heard any good stories.
yeah, me either. And
So,
I haven't used them. Somebody said, well, how do you go? And I said, I hang my tail off the side of the boat, just like,
yeah, on the women's tour, yeah, it's you hang it over, or like people
Oh, I
have
do it on
buckets
my tour.
or
I
yeah,
just
coffee
tell them I
can.
don't have a choice though.
Yeah, so
That
yeah.
or have a bladder rupture, one of the two. And like I said, every man I have fished with has been a gentleman about that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, I'll just tell you I'm gonna go. You turn your back, I turn my back, and it's just the way it works.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, everybody's pretty good about it.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
Now I did
Well-
have a guy one time that got sick in the boat that I drew him, and he had to do more than.
Oh,
And I'm like, I'm sorry. This is where I draw the line. I can handle just about anything. But if you got to do that, you're going to go to that bank and you're going to go behind.
yeah, I was gonna say they are.
That is not happening with me in the boat. This is your boat. I know you're going to have to either let me out or you're going to have to get out. Because I draw the line there.
And per the rules, I mean, they are. I mean, like in all the rules, it says call of nature, then you're allowed to leave the boat. So,
Right.
So technically,
yeah.
they can.
That had only happened. That happened to me one time in all the tournaments I fished this year, and I was like, but it was funny because he was in a mad rush, and we were running trying to find a place for him to go, and I finally spot this like little open patch of area with some trees and bushes. I said, "Look right there," and he whips in, jumps out, runs, gets the toilet paper and all the stuff, and runs up the hill. So I'm sitting on the back of the boat, just kind of looking at everything, and I notice, and I'm like, right across the cove, there's a little marina with bathrooms. It says restrooms. I was like, when he came back down, I was like, hey, we missed something. Look. And he was like, yeah, I seen that when I was sitting my butt over that log a while ago.
That would be my luck.
Yeah. I was like, hey, they're right there.
Oh, wow.
But it's always been an adventure. One I love, one I'm proud of. I didn't realize till after I had finished up Toyota Series and I was talking to Anna, and I was like, I I didn't get everywhere I wanted to be in fishing this year, but I got a lot further than I ever dreamed I could get. Number one. And I've made a difference, and I just want to keep
Yep.
doing that no matter what. And like, I know my shoulder surgery is going to really mess up my season, but I feel like this has happened for a reason, and I don't know what it is, and I don't know if it's to allow me some time to really push for things like this, for issues like this that are very important to me, that women in fishing should be heard, we should be recognized, we should be revered, we should be appreciated. And I can tell you, if any of the big box sponsors are listening tonight, you're missing the boat with women. We are
Yes.
much better speakers. We are much better promoters. We are much more in tune with the public. And we would be much, much, much better at marketing for you if you would give us an opportunity. Period.
Well, and like before you were talking about approachability, and I have had this happen to me a couple of times where like there's been a fishing conversation going on like in a chat room where I have actually had men send me a private message to ask me a question because they were too embarrassed to ask it.
The guys. Exactly.
Yes,
That
they
has
were
happened to me too.
Yeah, I mean it's really common for they're afraid they're going to get razzed, or something
And like
like
I
that.
always say, you can ask me you can ask me just about anything about
Right.
fishing. I may not know it, but we'll figure it out together.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you're right about approachability.
Yeah.
I found that too, that men are more likely to ask me what they may think is a simple question. And I said, sometimes we've been fishing so long and doing the same repetitious thing over and over and over again, we don't realize little tips and tricks
that aren't known.
That they're not known,
Right.
One good thing about social media, there's a lot of sharing going on now that you can pretty much Google anything you want to and figure it out.
Do you know Tommy Myers?
I do know Tommy Myers.
He says he has tears in his eyes.
Oh,
it came through at 9:30. So it's probably because we were talking about the bathroom stuff and
oh Lord, I'm sure. I'm sure.
You know what? We talk about it like all the time on this channel because
it is a serious problem.
It is, and it's so common, like it just funny things happen, and it's I don't know.
Girl,
we talk about it with everybody.
And look, and like, even in fun fishing, like when Anna, I didn't put the GoPro on my boat, on my new boat yet. It's there, it's ready to go on, but I hadn't put it on. And I always tell Anna, I was like, I'm afraid to run a GoPro on the boat with you and I, because it could be like the Laverne and Shirley show some days. She kills me with the dang wacky worm. But anyway, she always says, the back seat of that boat's mine. I don't care. When you're home and it's fun fishing, that back seat's mine. I'd rather fish with you than anybody else, which I love that. But I was, how you have to practice techniques sometimes. Well, I was practicing skipping because I was having trouble. I don't know why, but I was just having trouble skipping. And I think it's because, I figured out why I was having trouble, because I could do it from the front of the boat. I couldn't do it from the back of the boat. Mm-hmm. And I think it's because of the way, you don't have any room.
In the back of the boat.
You're
the
gonna
motor or the dashboard.
Or you're going to hit
the motor.
From the other side, you're going to hit those dang talons or power poles. So I was trying to figure out what was wrong with my skipping, because I couldn't get it in a tournament one day, and I was mad. So I was going to go practice it. Anna's sitting in the back of my boat. I think I got one. Like, she pulls out like a 2 or 3 pounder. I was like, oh, that's good. Man, I'm working on that technique still. I was not fishing. I was just techniquing it. She's dawdling a wacky worm. And she just bust open like some 5-pounder. I was like, to hell with practice. This is done. You are killing. She goes, I said, what are you doing back there? She goes, I don't know. I just got that little wacky worm out there and I'm just working it. And I was like, oh gosh. I love that kind of stuff though. But I always say if I caught my boat on fire one time though with Anna. Anna's laughing.
Oh, that, yeah.
I run my batteries down and Anna and I were fishing together and I don't know why. I had jumper cables. I was going to jump one battery to the other and I'd done it before, but I forgot I had to disconnect the 24 volt to jump the 12 volt. And I burnt jumper cables up. I mean, they melted in my boat. Melted. And Anna, I was putting things up and Anna goes, I think your boat's on fire. I was like, oh my gosh. I grabbed them jumper cables and I mean, the plastic was melting off of them. I threw them in the lake and I said, we got to call for backup. We're not going nowhere. I've just screwed everything up. She had to call her husband to come get us and tow us to the house. I mean, if it can't happen on the boat with me and Anna together, it's funny. It's funny after. It wasn't funny when all that was happening.
Right.
But it was funny afterwards. And talk about get ribbed. Like, don't you?
You know what though? You'll have so much TikTok footage. You want to talk about TikTok famous? That people love fishing fails.
Look, I've been thrown out of the front of my. Oh my word. I've been on the front of my boat fishing a tournament, and this did happen on my home lake. And it was windy that day, and there was a whole bunch of us fishing this river system that run through the lake. And I guess this guy got mad at another guy in front of him, and he cranks his boat up, and he makes a big whirl around the guy in front of him, which he got disqualified. But it threw me out of the boat. Because I was running the trolling motor, and I don't have a seat. Well, I mean, we were already fighting waves, and when he did that, I mean, I was trying to get ready for it, but out of that boat, I came back up. Before I could get up good, my phone was ringing. Somebody on the other end of the lake already knew I got knocked out of the boat. That's how much they watched you out there.
Right.
They were like, "Who knocked you out of the boat? What kind of boat was it?" And I was like, I told them the boat. I was like, it's crazy. Sometimes it can get crazy out there.
Oh, yeah.
And it jet skiers. Can. Oh, my gosh.
At least they're waves.
You want to get my blood pressure in an uproar jet ski.
That's funny.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody has a right to the lake, and everybody has a right to enjoy it the way they want to. We need to learn how to respect each other's space.
They hate us. They hate us so much.
They hate us.
The pleasure boaters hate bass fishermen, probably more than we dislike them. At least they sometimes give us a benefit of stirring stuff up, and sometimes that can be good. Like, I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but sometimes it can help. But they just hate us. We do nothing for them. They just hate us.
Not at all. No, I know that well. But it's funny because I have a pontoon boat too, and in the summertime I become a little bit of a pleasure boater just for fun. Sure. Not much, but it drives me crazy because I drive a Phoenix. That little 70 on that pontoon will make me nuts in about 5 minutes flat. I don't like going slow. I like fast boats.
Yeah, so you're kind of on the pontoon like, come on.
I can paddle faster than it feels like it's going. It just makes me crazy. And the people who know me on my boat out there that pass me know I'm going crazy when they pass me because they're like, oh, she's going to be mad because we just blew her out of the water.
That's funny.
But anyway.
Well, how do people get a hold of you to get the tickets for the raffle?
Okay. They can go either. I have a Facebook page. My Facebook page is, for those who are not doing TikTok, You can find me on TikTok. It's Michelle Price. Wait, I got to get Anna. I've got 2 accounts and I don't want them to go to the wrong account. I think it's Michelle Price Mitchell on TikTok. We're double checking here. It's been a little crazy. And if
think
you go
it
to my
is.
Cash App on
Michelle Price Mitchell. It is Michelle Price Mitchell on TikTok. She also has Facebook, but her Cash App,
Mhm.
$, capital Michelle, capital Fishing. So it's capital M, the word Michelle, capital F, the word fishing. Her PayPal is
Okay, wait, just 1 second. Did you get that?
Wait for
So
the
you
cat.
can go to my Cash App to get tickets. Make sure we get your name. The tickets are $5 a piece or 5 for 20. My Cash
Okay.
App is capital MICHELLE, capital F. It's Michelle Fishing. The $.
and then yeah,
It's the $sign on the Cash App, and then Michelle Fishing.
but the M is
Capital,
and
and the F is capital.
Okay.
On my PayPal,
Okay, hold on just a second. Let me make sure I get this. So Cash App is the $,
right?
Michelle Fishing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to put that banner up.
Okay, great.
And then you'll be able to make sure that it's right too.
And then I also have a PayPal account.
It is Michelle P. Mitchell at gmail.com.
And my PayPal
Hold on just
account.
a second. Okay, Michelle Fishing. Okay, double check that.
That is correct.
Okay.
And then my PayPal account is Michelle P. Mitchell.
Okay.
So that's my PayPal. They can get the tickets that way. The tickets are going to be on sale until 5 o'clock on December 12th. And then we're going to start pulling at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to show everybody the big ticket counter. We're going to pull all the tickets.
Okay, so
We're going to give
they're
away about 20 prizes, all valued at about $200 a piece.
okay, so on sale until
December 12th, 5 p.m.
December
If
12th.
it's somebody that does not follow you on TikTok,
5
please
p.m.
make sure we have a phone number or something.
Right. So
Okay,
if
is
you
it
don't
Central or Eastern?
Central Time.
Okay.
And 2, if when they if it's somebody who's not following me on TikTok, just please, whatever you do, put a phone number or some way for me to contact you, because we're doing this all live. You don't have to be present or in my TikTok account to do this. If you buy a ticket, I just need to be able to get a hold of you. So just make sure we have a way to contact you after this is over with.
Okay.
If you don't follow me on TikTok.
This lady's been listening to you talk.
Aww.
And
There's a lady in the lobby that's been listening to me talk about this.
she just bought $100 worth of tickets. You tell me God ain't good?
So this lady's been working. Thank you so much. This lady was listening to this, and she was doing some work in the lobby, and she heard the story. She just bought $100 worth of tickets from us
See?
tonight.
What was I just saying? You never know who is listening.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sweetheart.
Anna's giving hugs and love right now. So
Women's World of Fishing Monday Night Takeover. We thank you.
that's right. She said Women's World of Women and Fishing are taking over right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so grateful for these moments and for these opportunities to do this, because I know we are making an impact in people's lives in general. We're making an impact in families' lives. We are making impacts in
So
young girls'
awesome.
lives who look to us. And obviously we just made an impact in the hotel lobby of a
But
complete
seriously,
stranger who may not even know much about fishing, but listened to a story and was
that
intrigued by it.
literally,
Yeah.
that like seriously, stuff like that, just like
I know, and but then it also puts the pressure on us a little bit more, and that's the way I think about it. So it's always there to be the best I can be at whatever I can be. But then it makes me realize people do listen. I have to be careful of what I do. I have to always present the best Michelle I can possibly be. And I want to live that life. There's no doubt I want to be the best person I can be. I'm too old to do anything less at this point, you know?
right.
So having
But
like an opportunity to sit and talk with you about all this stuff, having the opportunity to sit in the beautiful Cypress Bend Hotel and Resort with a beautiful 18-hole golf course and, you know, overlooking my home lake. I mean, I couldn't be any prouder to be able to do these things. And I told Anna driving over here tonight, I said, did you think a year and a half ago we'd be doing this tonight? And she said, no. She said, I really thought a year and a half ago you weren't going to make it. She said, I really thought a year and a half ago you weren't going to be able to survive the grief that you were in. And here I am.
And you know what? Without fishing, you might not have made it.
I might not have.
But your sisters, we've got you.
Yeah.
You know, your sisters have got you.
Yeah. Oh, I know that. And I'm so aware of that. And, you know, I always said fishing has always saved me. But I have a long story about how I got back to fishing and how I got into fishing. I fished all my life. But, you know, losing my husband, it took all the wind out of my sails. And it took me a long time to be able to really stand up on my feet and be the woman that God intended me to be the woman that my parents raised me to be. And I was just I'd never been afraid of stepping out in my life. I'd never been afraid of doing what I wanted to do or trying something new until losing him. And I just couldn't cope. And I had somebody remind me of a promise I'd made to my mom years ago and of the passion that I never stopped fishing. I just wasn't hungry. I wasn't mad at the fish. And I did not know that I had the heart of a competitor anymore. I just didn't think I did. And little did I know, I prayed about it, and I prayed about it, and prayed about it. And I said, God, if you want me to walk through this door, I'll walk through it. But if you don't, slam it in my face now, because I can't bear anymore. And I'll be honest with you, I called Major League Fishing. It was December 31st of last year. And I registered for my first tournament in 10 years, basically. And I was going to fish the Phoenix division. And a guy that my parents raised, he's like my brother, he was there. And when I did it, and he said, sis, it's going to be fine. Well, they called me back about an hour later, and they said, hey, Michelle, we're so sorry. We know you paid your entry fees to the Phoenix division, but COVID cap, you're out, like in the waiting line, 15 or 16 out. So chances are you will not fish this year. I thought, okie dokie. That door just got slammed. That's my answer. I'm fine. And I walked away, and we went and had lunch, and I was at lunch with my brother Henry, and my phone rings, and it's Mark, the director of the Toyota series. And he said, hey, you know, I know who you are. I know who some of your friends are that you fished with. They kind of said, go get her. He said, so I want to invite you to join the Toyota series instead of the Phoenix division. And he goes, I tell you what, you think about it. I'll give you 5 minutes and I'll call you back. And I was like,
go weigh the pros and cons for 5 minutes.
But wait, you know, and I said, I haven't done this in a long time. He goes, you're going to be fine. I know you're going to be fine. And I know who the guys were that said, hey, she is good. She deserves to be out there. Um, and I appreciate that. And I knew they knew I probably needed to be out there. But isn't it funny how God works? Because I seriously, when they told me about the COVID cap, I was like, okay, I'm out. I'm fine. And I was honestly okay with it. But
Right.
when Mark called me, my little brother who was sitting across from me at the table, he goes, well, God spoke again. Now what you going to do? I went, I guess I better go walk through that door.
Yep.
So, and I'm very thankful I did. Very thankful I did. Because I've had the opportunity to meet all of y'all. I've had the opportunity to meet some of the best fishermen and fisherwomen, anglers in this industry, and really develop friendships. But for me, most importantly, I've never measured my success by the weigh-in bag, so to speak. When I step out of the boat, my success for me is measured in the development of the friendships I've made with those guys on that boat, and how I've impacted their life by me being able to tell them my story, and they just go, "Wow, wow!" This is incredible. Now we know why you're here,
Right.
And then to be able to do this with the Catch a Dream Foundation. If I do nothing, if I never fish another day, I am very satisfied with where I'm at in life. If something happened to me tomorrow, God forbid, I would not have any regrets, because I've been living full. I've chased a dream I've always wanted to chase, and I haven't let age, aches, pains, whatever stand in my way. I've just went after it with more gusto than I've probably ever went after anything in my life.
Well, you've still got a lot of life to live and a lot of things to do.
I do.
And I could not be more thankful than to have met you, because I love doing stuff like this. And there are so many other foundations who might need you in the future.
True.
And in all honesty, like, actually, it's just so weird how the people who cross our paths, because there's another um young lady on TikTok that I was talking about this a couple of months ago, where we were talking about different foundations, and now I've having this conversation with you, and it's like, how do we find each other like this? Like, it's just, and it's not happenstance. I don't believe that. I think that we cross paths with people that we're meant to when we're supposed to do that. And
Right.
so I just foresee so much more that's coming, for you to do.
And it's a team effort always. For me, it's always a
Mhm.
team effort. And, I'm pretty strong, bold, and independent. But man, I'm a whole lot bolder, stronger, and independent when I've got a whole bunch of people behind me supporting me. And, and we all rally together. And that's what I love about the little community, family
Right.
that we have built through social media and through the fishing industry. I feel like I could go to a lot of people that I've met through these apps and through the fishing world itself. If I had a problem, I could go to them. There's many of them I could go to, and they would be right there to do whatever I needed
Right.
to help me in any way. I mean, that's you can't ask for more.
No, you can't. I mean, and I think that that's the case with a lot of us. We just build these families, and it's amazing.
And to me, it's my job. There's days that I need to be lifted up.
Mhm.
Obviously, there's days that everybody has, like, that they need somebody to motivate them. And if I can't do anything but motivate them with a smile or a thought, or
Mhm.
my parents always raised me to say, no matter how bad you think you've got it, if you want to make yourself feel better, look up, look around, because I guarantee you there is somebody hurting worse than you are. There's somebody who's going through something bigger than you are. And
Mhm.
when you see that, then you reach out. And I promise you, it will pull you out of your hole. It'll make you feel better about life, and it'll help them. And I've kind of always lived my life like that. That was just something they set before us for me and my little brother to do. And I have definitely lived my life like that.
That's good.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
had
it's a
great
t-
parents.
it's a tough way to live, because it's tough to maintain that, because when life is hard,
It's just
it's really hard, and it's hard to take yourself out of that and focus on other people,
it
especially
is.
consistently. But if you
And
can manage it,
and there's some people who can, and I understand that too. And if they can't, that's okay. And because we're all built differently. We're all built
mhm,
to cope different ways.
right,
And some of it's just training, and for me, it's just my personality. I can't dwell too long because if I
right,
do, I'll get in trouble, and I don't want that.
yeah.
So anyway,
Well, I have just had a blast talking to
me
you.
too. I
I am
really, really have.
I am so glad that you agreed to come on here. I hope that the show is going to have helped, you get more
I hope
raffle
so too.
tickets.
And look,
And
too, if they follow you and they need to purchase tickets and they can't get to me for some reason, you
mhm,
can you can figure out how to get to me. You know how they can.
yep,
You
I
can
will
do that.
definitely. I'll steer them your way, and
Thank you so
you
much. And
know,
remember too, even if you can't afford to buy a ticket, go to catchadream.org.
mhm,
Read their mission. Read their testimonies of families that they have helped,
mhm.
and find a way, whether it's nothing but a note or there's something you can do. Something.
Share the
Share
page
the
out,
information.
because when we share stuff on social media, the reach that it has is huge, because even if you can't donate, you don't know who on your page
Exactly.
can, or
Exactly.
how it's going to touch someone on your page, or if they share it, who it's going to reach. um the power of social media is incredible. So if nothing else, at least share them out. It is the giving season,
It
and
absolutely is.
what better of a foundation to help than one that focuses on kids? um I obviously, me and Michelle, we're in the fishing, the outdoors industry, so this is one that we particularly relate to. But this is I can't think of a better one that I would like to be involved in. So
Yeah,
please, if nothing else, you can make a direct donation through their website. But
you
if
can.
nothing else, then just please share it out.
And Dr.
Um,
Brunson and I are working on, they actually have a thing where they're creating a page for me through an app that we're going to pick some keyword like fish or something like that. And you'll be able to fish or text the word fish to a certain number. It takes you directly to their page. And then it will be on my page. I'm going to give you my story about how I got involved with Catch a Dream, short little brief story. And it gives you options on how to give.
oh,
Then it gives
okay.
me an opportunity to be able to keep up with who's donated through my word of mouth kind of operations, and I can send them personal and private notes. Or we've even talked about, like, if you donate a X number of dollars, doing some different things where we could have T-shirts made with Catch a Dream on it, and something about if I can ever get my logo finished, logo. And there's different things we can do. But that's an incredible app, and it's going to be a good tool for me to be able to help them and be able to keep, because I never want people to donate and not feel appreciated for doing what they've done.
Right.
So I love this idea. And but they
Nice.
obviously can donate many, many ways right now through the catchadream.org website. And
Okay.
definitely read the testimonies. They will touch you. If they don't touch you, we probably don't need to be friends. I'm just saying.
I'm very, like, I'm sarcastic and sassy and joke around and stuff like that. But anybody who actually knows me knows that I'm like a sensitive, gentle
Big
heart.
softy. You a softy.
I
We know.
really am. Yeah, I'm like a big softy. I ain't even gonna lie. So
Me
I
too.
I probably shouldn't read them. I'll be getting tissues out.
I know. I know, but it's funny because like I can't read them at night because I'll be up all night then pondering. And poor Anna, God bless her. I fell asleep on. We were doing paperwork last night after the raffles, trying to make sure we had everything from the auction and the raffles. And I wanted to watch Yellowstone. I'm not gonna lie to you. I didn't really want to do a live. I knew I had
Start
to do
that.
a live, but I wanted to watch Yellowstone. And we had kicked her husband out of their bedroom and was, doing girl stuff, laying across the bed working on paperwork. And she said, next thing she knew, I was sound asleep with my clothes on.
Oh.
So her poor husband had to sleep in the guest room last night.
Ah, well, that's okay.
He's probably gonna be. I can't wait for Michelle to go back to her house and not be at the camp anymore, and all this stuff is over with. Because poor Anna has stayed right by my side the whole time for me doing this, and
Oh.
like she is behind the scenes. But let me tell you something. That woman right there, she's my right hand and my left hand. She really,
Oh.
really helps me a lot, and she doesn't do it for pay or for praise or anything like that. She does it because she's my friend.
Oh, thank you, Anna. We appreciate you just as much.
Oh yes,
Thank you,
definitely,
Barbara.
definitely.
At least she helped get you to the show on time, even though I was as lost as could be.
You have no idea what it took to get me to the show on time tonight. But yes, you can thank Anna for that.
Thank you.
Oh goodness, it was fine. It
Oh.
all worked out perfectly, though. It did work out perfectly, and I love doing this. And anytime you want to do this again with me, I'd be happy to come on and we can talk. We can talk about some.
You know what? We'll have to do a TikTok battle. We'll have to do that. And
Oh
we'll
no,
do,
my name is
you know-
already being changed on TikTok. I don't know how much more I can take on TikTok. For
no.
1 month, my name is going to be changed to something that I'm not happy about.
Why? What? Oh, because you lost a battle?
No, because
Oh.
I lost because Mitch Smith Racing got more in bid than I got on the auction. I think he staged
Oh.
it, to be honest with you. But so he gets to change my name to Mitch's Bass Bitch or something like that. It's not very nice.
Oh, well, I'll still battle you. It's okay.
Okay,
I mean,
good.
I mean, you'll totally kick my butt because you have
I
like,
doubt that seriously. I
oh
doubt
yeah,
that.
you will. You have like double what I have.
Mine don't give though. Mine are poor boys that don't give. But
but
I love them, because they're so good. They're so supportive of me. I don't get a lot in gifts, but we'll do a battle. We'll definitely have to do a
but
battle.
we'll do that, and to entertain everybody, we'll talk about the bathroom stories on boats, and we'll
definitely.
talk about all the other stuff.
Because my crew is dying over here. They're messaging Anna left and right, and
yeah.
which is hilarious.
Yeah, so because we can actually on TikTok we can speak.
I know. Look, I've been so afraid of TikTok this week. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have been I've been nervous that something would happen and I'd get banned before I needed to, and my backup account is not where it needs to be. Then I was like, it'll be fine. I'll just go on Anna's account and get her banned because I've done that before too.
Oh gosh, I ain't looking to get banned. I worked
I
too
don't. I
hard.
didn't mean to get banned. I
I
didn't
know.
do anything really to get banned.
Yeah, I don't.
But then by the time I figured out why I was getting banned, I was mad. So I said, Anna, give me your phone. I'm fixing to go on your phone. She goes, don't you get me banned. Boom. I had been on 2 minutes and I was reported.
Oh my Lord.
I'm telling you.
You better behave.
I'm gonna behave. Right now.
I never got in any trouble in school.
welcome.
If I end up getting TikTok banned,
you're gonna get in TikTok timeout with me, girl. I
I'm gonna-
said something the other day, right before we did this auction, and it was something silly. I was telling a story about an old bull rider that I knew that I didn't like very much because he was a little chauvinistic, and I didn't use a bad word. I just called it like I saw it. And I don't know if he was watching, but I was off the guest box and they were like, oh no, she just got banned. I was like, oh no, oh no.
Oh my Lord.
But I don't get banned. I don't get banned often. I've only done it 3 times. I've only been banned 3 times, so it's not too bad. And look, guys, we laugh and talk and joke about all this stuff, but and I know we could not do this without the sponsors that we have behind us.
No, not at all. We
And
couldn't.
so, to your sponsors, and you can call them out if you want to, that have sent me all this wonderful stuff for this raffle. I want them to know how much I appreciate you and appreciate them and what a great job you do promoting their product, because I hear it all the time.
Oh,
I
thank
hear
you.
it all the time. You do lots of content about the products that you represent. They are very, 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 very lucky to have you on their pro staff.
Oh,
And
thank you.
I want to thank you so much for your stuff that you sent to us. And to all of our sponsors who really stay behind us. Like I said, Crazy Cast he's been more than just a sponsor. He is a true friend to me. He's donated so much wonderful stuff. Tartan Tackle, Rocket Slug, Motivated Fishing. Goodness, the list goes on. And I'm Your Tackleberry. Team Livingston. And Bassin Magazine, who may kill me.
Oh
yet,
yeah, I saw that.
He has donated a lifetime subscription to Bassin Magazine. Now,
That's
I've
awesome.
started writing a column from him, and because everything's been going on that's been crazy that was supposed to go, I'm praying to God. I sent it to him 4 times yesterday and twice today, and he still hadn't got it. So, but anyway, he is putting together a lifetime. There's just been so many people reach out and offer us great stuff. Blake Power, who's a very good friend of mine, he has started like a little sunglasses with, I can't remember which sunglass company, but he's provided something. We've had, there's so many gift packages, and they are really, really, really good packages. But I want to thank your sponsors personally. I definitely always want to thank the guys that are behind me, my sponsors,
Sure.
my sponsors on TikTok, who may not be on my jersey this year because I didn't know them until this year. But they will definitely be all over the front of my jersey next year. They have just been so good to me. I couldn't ask for better people in my life. And I appreciate all of y'all so much.
Good deal. Well, and also for the Cowboy Coffee Chew, if you want to try that,
y'all check this out.
If you all want to try that, okay, first of all, it works better if it's warm. It's like the taste of it is like sweet coffee. It's delicious.
Oh, I'm done. This will not go in the raffle. It's done.
But I will tell you this is for women, like what I use that for is for when I'm fishing and I don't want to pee a lot. But I want the But
you need the kick.
I need the caffeine and so, but it's also used for, it's delicious. It's my favorite snack on the boat.
Coffee infused beef jerky.
Mm-hmm.
Girl.
Obviously you can't tell that I like coffee.
I love coffee too. So when I seen that, I was like,
yeah,
don't know where she got that at, but I got to go shopping there.
And that's just send him a message and tell him that Bass and Gal Barbara sent you.
I will definitely. I was like, coffee infused jerky.
Like,
oh my word.
His name is John, and look at this. Now, granted, I've been working with him for a long time, but I ordered coffee because I was getting low. And
oh my word.
So, and there was, more beef jerky. I ordered coffee because, like, I'm addicted to his coffee.
Look, I can smell it. Like, I can smell it right now, and it makes me want a cup right now really bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's just like if you've got to put it in your pocket to warm it up, or else it's like it'll be like kind of hard, and it's got to be soft. Um, but yeah, I just like put it on my tongue because you don't want to like put it in there
No,
like
people be thinking
chew.
I'm dipping. No, I don't
Yeah, like I'll just take some and I just put it like right on my tongue.
you know,
You
they
know.
say that in I can remember them saying something about the soldiers used to do that during Vietnam. They put that instant coffee in their jaw
Oh,
for a
really?
quick kick.
Oh, it gives you a quick kick, but there was a guy that from Twitter that started using it for that, and granted it's not like this is what it's to be used for, but he that's what he started using it, and he stopped drinking pop and and snacking and stuff like that, and he lost like 40 pounds in like 6
I
months.
need a case.
Anna
Yeah.
said, "Could she have a case?"
It's no, I don't want people to be like, "Oh, I'm going out and buying some. I want to lose weight," but he really did.
Wow.
But
See how that would work. Far
yeah,
less calories.
right. And but that's how I was just like I had contacted him because I met him on Twitter, and I'm like, "Really?" And so that's I started using it on the boat because I didn't want to pee all the time in tournaments.
That's a good. It's really a good idea.
Yeah.
Really a good idea.
And it works. You won't pee as much, but you get that second cup of coffee.
And it's all about time management too, because you don't have to worry about like holding the cup, not fishing. It's all about fishing. You just have
Right.
you have that second cup of coffee under your tongue
Yep.
or on
And
your
and
tongue.
he actually created it. Like his story's on there, and he created it because like when he was in high school, all the boys were dipping, and he had tried it and he got like deathly ill. And
Wow.
he's like, "Oh man, I look like such an idiot," like, and he wasn't cool, so he like made it so that he could still dip, but he wasn't
So he could
having
look cool.
yeah, so that he wasn't, not cool, but he was dipping, but it wasn't dip.
Yeah,
And
right.
it's helped a lot of people quit dipping, and that's what it's marketed it as. So go
That's a
ahead and
pretty good story. Like in the I know that you do a lot with your your real sponsors. I just want to thank all of them because look, like I've said this a million times tonight, and I'll keep saying it. I could not have pulled this off without all of you pulling together to make this happen for Catch a Dream. Catch a Dream raffle is going to wind up now. December 12th, 5 o'clock. We're going to stop selling tickets. That gives
6
us time to
days.
You've got 6 days to get tickets, and there's multiple ways that you can win. 20 really nice prizes, and
Good deal.
I want everybody to get a shot at this. We have amazing people behind us, and I just can't thank y'all all enough. So, and if you have any questions, feel free to messenger
Yep.
me on Facebook
Or me.
Messenger, whatever you need to do. But I'm going to tell you now, if you do me on Facebook Messenger, I don't get back to Facebook as quickly as I do to TikTok. But because I know this is going on, I'll try to do better.
No, it's okay. And I mean, because it's going to 8 different places too, so I'll keep
Right.
an eye out too. So
Okay.
You do have an Instagram too.
we'll get. It doesn't stream to Instagram, so we should
Okay.
be good there.
I have
I-
trouble with that one.
I posted it on Instagram, but they know that they had to come somewhere else to watch it, so
That's
we're good
good.
there.
That's good.
So I'll let you know if I hear anything, and I will see you on TikTok, and we'll battle soon.
Yes, I want to do that. Look, thank
So-
you for having me on tonight. I really enjoyed it. We need to talk about peeing in the boat more often and how to do better
Yes.
with our clothes. Yes,
And
we absolutely have to do that.
we will. And when we battle, we'll call out some of these companies. They can
Jeez.
only ignore us so long if we keep calling them out.
Right?
That's true.
I
That's
think
my
that's
theory.
a great idea.
That's my theory.
Okay, well let's go. Okay, let's go do it then. Let's go
Alright.
do it then.
Have a good night. Thank you so much, Michelle.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
too.
Anna.
Thank you.
Have a good night, ladies.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.